were you bugging Nate for a long time about Daytona, or were you putting it in a bug in his ear with Nate and the bosses about doing this, or did they say, hey, we're going to put you, what do you think about Daytona? Like, how tough was it to get them to put you on a 450 for that race?
I mean, it kind of goes back to last year whenever I was going to do that for outdoors.
Yeah.
Race a 450, and like that was on them. They kind of pulled that from me right before we were about to go, which I understood their reason. And then, yeah, like I knew it was talked about a little bit, but at this point that it was started to get talked about, I was still had a chance, or I still have a chance now, but I was a lot closer in points to Jet. So like I didn't really want to talk about it too much.
Yep.
And then A2 shows up and I do that crap to me, I get hurt. So now those next 2 weeks, like I can't even really talk about going racing on a 450 because I'm trying to get healed up. And then once I realized I was going to race Oakland, I finally called Nate because, I mean, I talked to the rest of the team and they were all for it. I finally talked to Nate and I was like, hey, look, like, you know, if you're for it, I would like to at least have a 450 built for when I get home from Oakland and, you know, let's give it a try and let me make the call on if we're going to go racing or not. And yeah, he was all for it. He's like, look, I did it as whenever I was a pro, did it in my career, and I actually got a podium on the opposite coast. So I'm all for it. I think if anything, it'll benefit you more than not. So yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like Burner and Chad and Nathan and Red Dog and Ricky and McGrath, all of these dudes were like, I'm riding the other coast when I can. And factories were cool with it. And it's always been something we do. Only in the last 10 years have they bubble wrapped these 250 guys and been like, that's it. There's no way. Like, look, if you're going to get hurt, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt practicing. You're going to get hurt. Like, it doesn't.
But do you think that the pay for the 250 riders has gone up in the last 10 years? So maybe they're just trying to protect their investment a little bit more? I
mean, I guess. But if they want to get exposure on I mean, especially Malcolm's out. They have a bike. They have a spot.
Yeah.
Like, why not? If RJ, you're doing a deal for next year, right? For again, or it's done or whatever, right? If they want to put RJ on, like, hey, you're going to be our guy. We're going to grow with you. Here's some 450 experience.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's always bugged me a little bit, you know?
Yeah, but it's tough. Like nowadays, like they pretty much say, like, look, you got to win a championship before you're going to go 450. And that's how it's kind of in the 250 class.
Yeah. Well, especially with no pointing out now, right? Now it's just like, championship.
Yeah, I mean, I was for that also, but, man, whenever chances like this happen and there's a bike just sitting there, like we're not getting a filling guy, you know, even our 250 guy got hurt, so now we have a filling guy, and it's like, man, I'm close to this race too. Like, at least give me a shot. I mean, the first couple of days, man, it was rough. Like, I was like, dude, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm going to be a 250 guy for my life. Because, dude, it was bad.
Why?
Like,
what was bad about it? I don't get it. You're a bigger guy. You're experienced. Like, you know.
No, but it was like they threw me straight on Malcolm's bike with my 250 suspension. So now I get out there on this thing, and, dude, I didn't touch a downside. I was bottoming out everywhere. Like, I'm like, dude, like my first 2 days was not good. And at this point, now we're up to Friday before Daytona. And, like, actually the Friday before was a decent day. And then I only had 2 more days before we were going racing. And then the team came for that Wednesday before Daytona, and we did literally like an hour of testing. Other than that, like that was literally the bike they threw me on. And, I mean, I adapted to it pretty fast, but I really was trying to tame it down quite a bit just because I didn't like how, like, fast. Like, the initial was so fast. But it was just like, man, I needed more time to learn. And then, like, they would hit me with, like, questions like, dude, I didn't even think about a rear tire. So this whole time, like, I'm trying to process the rest of the bike, and they're like, yeah, like, you should probably be on a 120 for this weekend. I'm like, dude, that's just the last thing I'm even thinking about right now. Like, I'm trying to learn to ride in first gear right now.
702-586-PULP. You got a question for RJ Hampshire. Brought to you by EVS Sports. Pulp 30 to code to save. So be honest. In the heat race, are you waiting for guys to get by you? Or are you like, no, I got this?
Man, no. I mean, to be honest, I was pretty confident. I didn't have a bad qualifying time.
Yeah, you were good. Yeah.
No, I was good, but there was a time where, like, I went up to P4, I think, in qualifying, and I was like, dude, like, I can go faster. Like, that wasn't it. And that same lap, dude, I got humbled so fast. Like, it was like, all right, you need to come back to reality real quick. Like, you're not ready to go at that speed. So that's kind of where I was at all day. It was like, dude, if you watch like I didn't jump the rhythm after when you go under the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like there was guys going 3-3 all day, even on press day, and I did not jump that one single time. I was losing almost a second to a second and a half a lap in segment 3 all day.
Wow.
But that was just kind of how I was. It was like, look, this is what I got,
Yep.
and that's what I'm going to stick to. And I mean, yeah, for the most part, like my main event, I mean, dude, it was a long day. Like after the heat race, the guys came back and they're like, dude, yeah, day's done. Like that was solid, everything. I'm like, man, I still got a main event to deal with here, and I already knew how bad the track was. So, yeah, I mean, I still had 20+1, and I haven't even really done a full moto on this bike yet. So it was just kind of like staying in my lane,
Yep.
and knowing what I was comfortable doing and what I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, for the whole day, it was pretty solid.
Did you already do the deal for Hawkstar? Because you just made yourself a bunch more money if you didn't, by the way.
No, I got my offer right before the weekend.
Oh, well, dude, you did. Send that thing back.
Yeah.
Send that thing
Can we do a counter?
Yeah, and just send them the videotape of a heat race win. Like, I don't look. That's impressive. Yeah, you don't. You don't luck into that. You don't fall into that. That's Cooper Webb's in there, and it's Daytona, and it's impressive. So, absolutely.
No, I appreciate it, but it's like, man, I've been wanting this chance for so long, but you don't want to put yourself out there as like, look, I can do it, and then you go out there and you don't do it. So then it puts so much more pressure on yourself. So again, like I was just beating around the bush. Like, look, just give me the chance, opportunity. Like at the time, I was pretty much doing it for free, like just for my per diem on the weekend.
Right.
And that's just for me wanting to go racing. There was definitely times where I was like, shit, man, this might not be good. And even on the day of, like, there was times where it was like I needed to learn the bike more. Like, dude, I was hitting the whoops in second gear for most of the day, thinking I was in third because I would ride the bike in first so much, and then I'd shift to second, and I'd be like running out at the end, and I come back to the boys. I'm like, dude, this thing, like, I don't understand what is wrong. Like, I'm getting kicked so bad.
Yeah.
And then they pull up the data, and they're like, yeah, well, what happens when you ride around in second gear?
Yeah, you're in second, dude. Maybe shift up a little bit, right?
Yeah. But there's just things like, and I think putting more time on it this week, I'll keep learning it. I'm not saying I'm going to go out there and battle again at the front, but I definitely think I have something that I can do on a 450, and at least I can have some value on it. And whenever they do need me, until I can win.
Yeah. You want to tell the gate pick story? That was pretty funny. I think you can tell me.
So, I mean, all right, so heat race, okay, of course, me and Coop, he's behind me. That's a heat race. There's no points. So, all right, I'm trying to win that. Main event's a different story. And you hear these stories how Coop's like an asshole on race day.
Yeah.
And Coop and I are boys. Like, I'm completely okay with him being an asshole on race day. Like, I was fine. He would just look pissed off all day. So, like, I'm not going to talk to him. But our second gate pick behind Tomac, Gate 5 was the best one. It's the one I had in the heat race, but Tomac took that one. And there was really only one other gate that was decent out front. And Coop's sitting over there looking at them all, and it's like my turn to pick, and I'm like looking at him. I'm looking at the gate, like looking at him, looking at the gate, like looking for something, like, help me out here, dude. Do I take this gate or what? Like,
do you want this gate? Yeah.
yeah, like just tell me what it is. And then like didn't say anything, so I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna roll in.
Yeah.
So I pick it, I roll in. As soon as I do, he's like, shit. I'm like, oh my gosh.
You're like, bro,
damn,
not good. Yeah. If he did not get that whole shot, it would not have been pretty.
No, you're like, look, bro, give me any kind of sign, anything.
Yeah. Anything. But like he just like if you look at Coop on the gate, like,
he doesn't see anyone on race day.
Yeah,
he's so locked in.
Yeah, so I've known him for a long time, and on race day he's been kind of like standoffish, and I'm like, that's weird. Maybe he doesn't like me, but then I would ask him to come on the show. He was always cool, and then he came in studio, cool as shit. On our group texts that I'm in once in a while, he's really funny,
hilarious.
And he's hilarious. But on race day, he's just business.
I'm curious how he is like on a practice day, because I know Coop outside of racing, right? I know how he is on race day as well. How is he sort of like on practice day?
No, he's good. Like
he's
shit with the boys. We're boys.
Okay.
I mean, he has his days. I mean, that's just Coop. Yeah. That's how he is. Like, I've known him long enough now. Like, you just expect it. Like, When he's in one of those moods, you just know. But yeah, it was just funny to be in that situation where it was like, dude, I do not want to have any part in this like points chase, like anything. Like,
no,
just tell me.
I don't know if the last time we had you on a week after Anaheim or maybe after San Diego, but did I tell you what Alden said about you when on the show here?
No.
We asked him about all working with all the guys, and he came to you and he's like, RJ doesn't say anything. RJ just does a job. No complaining, no drama. Like everyone's got, everyone maybe complains or shows up late or everybody's got their thing from here and there among you guys. And Alden was like, not RJ. He doesn't say a word, just does the work. He was really appreciative of you.
Yeah, same thing. Just show up.
Yeah, he doesn't. He said RJ's just trouble-free, happy to be there, do the work, and be quiet. Yep. So.
Yep. Same thing.
All right. Let's get some phone calls here. EVS Sports bringing you RJ Hampshire. First up, it's Trey on 4. Trey, what's your question for RJ?
Hey, what's up, guys? RJ, what's up, man? Big fan. I was just wondering what you thought the biggest difference is between the 250 and the 450, and if you thought anything you thought was more comfortable or what on the 450 compared to the 250.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it. But, I mean, the biggest thing for me was more the gearing than anything. Like I said, I've never rode first gear in my entire life. And as soon as I got on this 450, like it works really well in first gear. So that was the biggest change for me. But then, like, the most comfort I got out of the thing, and it's solid, is out of the gate. Like, I guess all the torque and just the way it launches out. Like, there's probably a good chance I get another whole shot this weekend if I do show up, just because I'm so confident on how the thing releases out of the gate. Like, the initial is so good.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, good luck this weekend. One other question I had about bar bends.